Today I'm going to talk about the thing called divine justice. Many people feel that God doesn't answer the prayer. God is partial. Lot of people do evil things in their life. Lot of people do lot of atrocious things in their life, and a lot of people, it looks away, they are able to get away in their life. So the question is, does really the divine justice, does it exist in their life? Does the divine mercy, divine grace, is it for good people across? Remember, the first rule of divine justice is there. If you are angry, if you are upset, if you feel something is wrong being done to you, wait for 24 hours. Can you become calm? Can you remain in rage after 24 hours? This is one of the biggest problem. Now many people get angry, get upset, say things which they are not very comfortable with, and after 24 hours it no longer means anything in their life. So God actually gives 24 to 72 hours to test you whether you really mean the divine justice into your life across. For example, there was a person who had a son. She was very upset about the son getting things into her life. She really wanted divine justice. She came and told me, and I told her, you wait for 72 hours to decide whether the divine justice be invoked across. She came back and she told me, no sir, I don't want any kind of divine justice coming into that person's life because I feel there is no need to hurt. Now many people after 24 hours don't feel so much of hatred and rage. They do not feel so much of anger and rage. They just feel it's okay, there is nothing to worry about. And after 48 hours, literally they do not remember. After 72 hours, they literally do not remember anything in their life across. Now, like this incident, many people want a divine justice immediately, and immediately they think, I really want to have a divine justice. So this is one of the first tests of divine justice, whether do you want divine justice after 3 days, after 7 days, after 1 month. Does the hurt, does the rage, does it invoke a divine justice into a person's life? The second problem with the divine justice is you need to repeat again and again, because God does not answer anyone's prayer immediately, because He wants to give time. He wants to check out whether you are truly interested, whether you will be fully be interested, whether you will be fully be committed. Whether it is happening on the lip level, mind level, feeling level, intention level, action level, like that, there will be a multi-dimensional level of checking which will happen, and many people do not feel that. On the intentional level, you want the divine justice to happen. Not on the thought level, not on the feeling level, but on the intentional level, the divine justice has to happen. Are you ready for that level of the intentional level? This is also another thing is there, and also you have to understand you cannot invoke divine justice because it has happened once or twice. Many times it is our prarabdha which is coming back, it is our own doing which is coming back. So the point is, if it happens once or if it happens twice, you cannot invoke the divine justice. It has to happen repeatedly, it has to happen time and again, then you can invoke the divine justice fully, because it is a repeated abuse. That is why in Krishna's life there was a king who went on abusing him. Krishna told him, till 108 times I will forgive you. After the 108 time is over, I will send my chakra to cut your head out. After the 108th time of abuse, he immediately sent his chakra to cut his head. So ask yourself, is this abuse very repeated? Is this abuse coming again and again? For example, the Moses was able to open the death vortex on the Pharaoh because the abuse has been going in for a number of years, for a number of centuries, for a number of hundreds of years without any redemption, without any kind of a solution, that most people were having immense suffering into their life. So all these things are a criteria for you as a person. The other one is you should put your attention on the navel, you should put your attention on the heart. Ask yourself, does this person require divine justice? Most of the time your intention will be very clear. It will tell you, it is the voice of the consciousness. It will tell you, Gopal, you did this, that is why you are getting that. So it will tell you the law of karma, it will tell you the karma vipak, it will tell you why you are going through this problem across. The other one is, if you are very confused whether divine justice has to be brought about, light the lamp. You just light the lamp for Guru, you will be able to understand whether it would require divine justice. The other most important thing is all the Ugra Devata. For example, Bhairav, Bhadrakali, Narsimha, Sudarsana, all these devatas do carry the divine justice energy. All the Ugra Devata, they give Bali, and this particular thing is given so that you can invoke the divine justice into a person's life. So in case you want the divine justice to come, then you have to mathematically work it out of taking a Ugra Devata Upasana. In normal cases you take it, you will have a lot of problem. For example, there was a lady who came and told me that a friend was doing a Baglamukhi Sadhana. I told that person will be away from the society. She said yes, she's actually living in a temple which is in a mountain top, and somebody has to go and give her supplies across the person. So the point is, whenever you do Ugra Devata worship, you will be away from the society. So you have to ask yourself, whether do you require. So the first thing you have to ask yourself is, whether can you repeat the prayer again and again and again. So the other most important thing is, when you are evoking divine justice, you will have to practice mercy and divine kindness in other areas of life. If you are going to invoke, for example, divine justice on a big enemy, you should be very forgiving with your friend. You should be forgiving with many people in your life. So do not try to be non-forgiving. Divine justice does not mean you can bring in divine justice into anyone's head. Wrong. That is not the case. So you should be very pardoning, you should be very forgiving, you should come to the point where your humanity and your feeling component is very high in many of the cases before you invoke the divine justice. You should have pity, you should have compassion, you should have empathy before you invoke the divine justice. So learn to light the lamp or do the Chatursamhara Puja with Lord Subramanya or Narsimha or Sudarsana. You will be able to clear a lot of energy. Whenever you are invoking the divine justice, do the divine justice for the sake of the family, for the sake of the nation, for the sake of welfare of other people. Don't try to invoke the what you call it as the selfish reason. You will have a lot of problem. I know there was a Telangana SI who shot down a lot of people. Somebody asked him, why did you kill him? He said, if I didn't bring justice to these people, they would have definitely gone ahead and destroyed many people's life. So to make them stop destroying people's life, I started invoking the divine justice component. So I took the law into my own hands. I did the encounter with him as a person. So it is very important that you do the divine justice for the sake of many people, not for the selfish reason. When you do it for the selfish reason, there will be a lot of bad karma which will be coming. There will be a lot of negativity which will be coming into your life. So it is very important that you do the divine justice. Like, for example, I saw in one Tamil movie, there was a guy who will be challenged to sing, who will be made to sing across with a competitor. He would simply say, for the sake of Tamil, for the sake of the Madurai Makkal, for the sake of the Madurai king, for the sake of the Tamil, like this, a very extraneous factor, please make me win. So it is very important. You have to take into all these things into consideration, that for the sake of the family, for the sake of the country, for the sake of the welfare of many people, that you are invoking the divine justice. For example, the Chanakya took the vow of bringing down the Magadha Samraja because the Magadhas were doing a lot of evil things. He wanted them to get destroyed. So the point is, you have to have the justification. Like Saddam Hussein was destroyed because the US forces felt he was harboring terrorists, he was creating a lot of disturbance in the world. By bringing him to justice, by bringing him to divine justice, lot of people, life will get better across a person. So it is very, very important that you invoke divine justice in a calm state of mind for the sake of humanity, for the sake of welfare of many people, that you invoke the divine justice across the person. The other most important thing is, you have to be patient. You have to try it out repeatedly to bring the divine justice. Many of them are becoming very restless. They want to switch over the technique, one technique after the other. It does not really matter. Just go on repeating the technique again and again. The vortex will open up, the divine justice will happen. Sometimes the divine justice would have happened, we might not see. I actually had an experience where somebody divine justice had happened. That man had died, and after 2-3 years I had realized the kind of divine justice the man had gone through. In fact, I was feeling sorry for the kind of divine justice act he had gone through as a person. So the point is, you need to understand, sometimes you might not get the right and the straight answer. It might take time after a number of years to see the kind of divine justice to go into their life. So develop mercy, develop compassion, be willing to let go. I know a particular incident. There was a lady who was practicing loving kindness with her mother. Her mother was a very torturous lady. She was not willing to come to this friend of mine's house. They were giving all kinds of torture across. So the point is, this lady did the very, very important thing of the loving kindness prayer. The mom was forced to visit her house. The mom was forced to reconcile her. So such is the power of divine guidance, and what you call it as, when you practice divine mercy, you can actually win over the enemies. This is called as the Chodh principle. Chodh is, you lie down, you allow the spirits to take the energy, whatever they need, and because you realize everything else is an illusion, your mind is an illusion, your thinking is an illusion, your body is an illusion. The moment you realize that, you would be able to be free of any kind of disease in your life. I wish you all the best in understanding this divine mercy and grace, and also the what you call divine punishment. Thank you so much.